Raider Nation. Yeah, you know what time it is. Go pour you a drink. Go roll you up something. We got a big week to talk about, man. We're coming off a major ass whooping. And frankly, I don't know how to deal with it. So, as I drink my sorrows out this bottle. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that over there. Let's get into it, Raiders. Let's go.
High stepping over them, high stepping over them, I be running plays like a halfback. Yeah. If I lose, tell them run it back. High stepping over them, stepping over them, I be making plays like a quarterback. Yeah. If I win, tell them double that.
And welcome everybody back to another episode of Chopping It Up Silver and Black. I am your host, NR. As always, we'll be here joined by Maine here shortly. But hey, man, we had a rough week, man. We got our asses handed to us. When I say handed to us, man, we got our asses smacked, bruh. Patriots came out, man. They did their thing. What was the final score? 20-36 was the final score. We just looked bad all the way around, man. Man, where do you begin? I mean, as you know, I'm not going to get too much into the offense. I'm going to let Maine hit up on that a little bit. I know he has a lot of good intel he wants to talk about. I will say, you know, as far as Derek Carr and the offense went, there wasn't much. Derek Carr, you know, put up 261, 2 touchdowns, but, you know, performance-wise, you know, on the field, it really didn't show much. Josh Jacobs, he had a silent, you know, 71 yards. Hunter Renfrow was probably the biggest impact on the offense with 84 yards and a touchdown. Darren Waller was shut down to 2 receptions and 9 yards. So, you know, on the offensive spectrum, you know, we wasn't really moving the ball well. On a defensive spectrum, we just played just incredibly bad. But you know, it's crazy because it's like we played so bad but so good. And what I mean by that is, yes, of course we had, you know, mistakes and stuff that, you know, obviously led us to getting our ass whooped. But I think a lot of that lied into the play calling and the defensive coordinator, Paul Gunther. Gunther's been under a lot of criticism lately, and frankly, it's time for him to go. I'm a defensive-minded guy myself, and I don't think he's ever really fit into the program. Matter of fact, me and Maine were speaking about it actually before this game, and then after the game, you know, when me and Maine spoke, I had emphasized, like, right after we played the Saints, how we had the middle of the line, of the D-line, contained. We were crushing the middle of the D-line, but the outside, there was no containment because every play being called required the DNs to crash in, and they were doing it so well. They were doing it well. They were crashing in well. They were plugging the middle very well, but there was no outside containment, whether it was the D-line, whether it was the corner that was supposed to come down, whether it was the linebacker that was supposed to step out. Whatever the case is, there was no outside containment. But they played the middle of the field you know what I mean, really, really well, up until it was time to, okay, let's stop the, containment. Now we could stop the containment, but we're leaving the middle open. So it was like, it was a lot of just miscommunication, and I think bad play calling, because the line was getting into the backfield. If you go back and look, there was hands constantly on Cam. Cam's just a big dude, but there was hands constantly on Cam Newton. The D-line was in the backfield constantly. The ends were coming around. It was just the fact of whenever they bounced it to the outside, they were gone. And then once you want to try to contain the outside, they were giving it up the middle, and there was no one or the other. There was no stunt plays, you know what I mean, or there was no zone blitzes or anything like that to where you can keep that outside pressure but still contain the middle. There was nothing called like that. So it was just bad defensively all the way around. We gave up 156 yards in the air, 250 on the ground, 2 touchdowns rushing, 1 touchdown passing. Really, aside from the Abraham interception, which was a phenomenal play in the first quarter, aside from that, there really wasn't too many standout. Max Crosby had a silent 2 tackles, 2 sacks, the only 2 sacks in the game. So big up to Max on that. And Nick Morrow, he was all over the field. He led the team with 9 tackles, 7 solo sacks. So defensively, man, we did really, really poor, man. And like I said, I think a lot of it, there's a lot of factors into it too, that falls back on, on everybody. Yes, as players, it's your, individual responsibility to hold your assignment. But, if the play calling's bad and you're calling bad plays, and, there really isn't much on that. Our key play caller with Kowalski, he's still out. Hopefully he can come back next week, and that can, help out our secondary, or not our secondary, but our linebacker core and our play calling. And, he was big on getting everybody positioned right. So, he hopefully will come back next week. But, a lot of it falls on Derek Carr also, man, And, I think we had like 1 third down conversion up until like the end of the fourth quarter, which is, uncalled for. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. You know what I mean? It's horrible. The 1 third down conversion. I think we were like, at one point, we were like 13% on third down. I think the offense only was, I think the offense had the ball for maybe like 20-some minutes, low 20s. So the defense was on the field the whole damn game. They were tired. So, yeah, granted, they didn't play well, but they never actually had a chance to sit down. Even the pick that Abraham had, man, he put them on the 29-yard line, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, he put them up on the 20 for a field goal because Carr couldn't finish the drive. You had 20 yards, 25 yards to finish the drive, and you couldn't finish it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and the defense has to come right back out on the field after a 3 and out, and it's like, so it's a lot, man. It's a lot in it, and I'm just not, after Sunday's performance, I'm not impressed by any means, and maybe I'm hoping, going into the undefeated Bills and then the undefeated Chiefs, right after that, and going into the bye, I'm hoping these next 2 weeks, before we go into the bye, we can get some momentum. Maybe this will humble us, bring us down, to earth. We did have some rookies. We do have young players, coming off of 2 big wins. Their head was in the sky. So maybe this will humble them. Maybe we'll bring them down to earth. But hey, man, like, if we're gonna have any chance of competing this year, man, what we did on Sunday, hey, we can never do again. You know what I mean? So at this time, I do want to get into the offense. So I'm gonna kick it to my main man. He's gonna touch a little bit on the offense. He's gonna talk about Derek Carr and how he feels about last night or Sunday's performance. So, man, what you got for me, homie?
And I appreciate it as always. Raider Nation, stand up. No matter what bullshit we go through. In that game, let me tell you, that was some straight bullshit. Let's go ahead and get into this jacked up offense we had, man. So previous to us recording this, me and V, my boy NR, as you know him, as y'all know him, we was having a conversation about Derek Carr, man. And I'm always on Derek Carr's side, saying that he is our franchise quarterback. He is the man to be. I'm the number 1 dude backing Carr up. And you know, me and my boy and we just went a little more in depth about Carr, how he's just, you know, he's good on paper. He's not good out there showing it. You know, I'm always blinded by the good things he does. And yeah, he does have good stats, but he just, like my boy NR say, he just ain't showing a higher level. He's not showing anything that what he's showing us, and it's kind of disappointing to me, man, because when our offense falls apart, our quarterback, the man in center, the captain, El Capitan, he's supposed to make shit happen. And Carr, he just ain't doing that for us, man. Carr, man, I love you, dog, but it's time for you to go, man. We got to make some moves ASAP. I really wish I could talk about our impact players for that last game. I mean, I guess I'd have to really say Renfro because, I mean, he had an amazing catch, but that was it, man. This last game that we played against the Patriots, there was nothing really spectacular besides that Hunter Renfro catch. And to see something spectacular, I guess we got to have our quarterback throwing some bombs to a wide receiver and have them go up and catch it, but he just doesn't do that. I don't know why. I don't understand. I know previously in another episode, I said that he was a short pass guru, which he is, and I love seeing that when it moves us up the field. But when we have other wide receivers that are open and it's just one-on-one, even though the dude's guarded like glue, bomb it up, throw it up there, see if he can get it, especially when it's Brian Edwards. Just throw it up there to see if he can get that. But Derek Carr ain't willing to take the risk. I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't have any. I don't know, man. I'm just lost for words in this last game with the Patriots. It didn't seem like we were organized. Didn't seem like we wanted it like we did the last game, and we got complacent, which in a way I guess is good for these rookies, man, to feel that loss and to get re-motivated, to gain their strength back, to see what they did wrong and go ahead and correct that, because you can't let that one win at your first home game opener get to your head, which I kind of think they did going into the Patriots. Hopefully we are humbled and we can continue on with these dubs. Raider Nation, I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and hand it back over to my man NR.
Hey, I appreciate the info as always, man. You know, it's always good to hear from you, homie. Hey, but just to touch up on what Maine was saying, man, like I do agree a lot. You know, we did have the conversation about Derek Carr and the offense, and you know, Derek Carr is my quarterback. That's our quarterback. But I can't support him 100%, man. Like, you know, he has good games. He does. Derek Carr has good games, but he's very inconsistent. He is. And you know, that's why I harp about he's not, to me, in my opinion, he's not my franchise quarterback. No, like, you know, we need a quarterback that when we get into situations like we got in Sunday, he's going to make a play. He's not going to fold under pressure. He's not going to force a play that's going to end up getting a lot of our other players hurt, because that's one thing I do notice about Derek Carr. And maybe it's behind the scenes. I don't know. I don't know. But if I was one of his receivers, running back or whatever, me and Derek Carr at some point are going to have words, because if you watch a lot of these games when Derek Carr gets in distress, he puts his receivers in bad positions, especially in the middle of the field, to be hit by these defenders without being able to protect themselves, so for about 3-4 yards on like a 3rd and 15. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of these things, man, it's like like Maine said, he looks good on paper. He's a stat pattern. Yeah, like Maine calls him, he's the short pass guru. But the Raiders, I've always remembered, is that deep field down to, we got all this speed and we don't use it. I think up until this point, game 3, Derek Carr's only thrown like 7 to 9 passes over 10 yards, and I think only like 3 of those were over 25 yards. You know what I mean? So a lot of things need to change, man. You know what I mean? I think, the first step is, obviously the defensive coordinator. I think that needs to change. And I really think we need to look into our quarterback options. I'm not necessarily saying mid-season. I am curious if Mariota gets healthy, after the bye to see how he does, or before the bye to see how he does. You know what I mean? Maybe like, I don't know. But I do know the inconsistency. You know, it's not going to get us nowhere. And with this scared play that Carr's playing with, I don't know how far that we're going to get. I mean, I do think we're going to have a successful season, yes, because we have the weapons, yes. But when we run into situations like where you can't throw the ball 15 times to, you know, Darren Waller and him catch it 12 times, you know, then what happens? You know what I mean? When Josh Jacobs is, you know, battling injuries and still trying to rush for, you know, just short of 100 yards, and they stop him, that we, you know, what are we going to do? So, you know, we have the options, we have the threats and the weapons, you know, but they're not being used properly, they're not being utilized properly, and I think that falls on, you know, on Derek Carr. You know, I think John Gruden is doing exceptional with the play calling. If you go back and look, a lot of those plays that Carr forced or, you know, fumbled and, you know, whatever, there were receivers open. You know, if you're triple team, and this is any sport, this is any competition, if one man is being double and triple teamed, somebody else is open. Somebody else is open. Especially in that zone they were playing a soft zone over the top and underneath. So if you have Darren Waller with a man over the top and underneath, and they're only playing one safety or one high, one low, then obviously you have somebody else open. But for whatever reason, it's not, you know, but it is what it is, you know. Hopefully going into the Bills, it'll be a different story. So as of now, we stand in the NFL Power Rankings at number 18. We moved down 3 slots from 15 last week, and we're going up against the number 6 Bills. Now, these Bills ain't no joke. Their defense may not be the greatest. Their defense may need some work, but Josh Allen and that offense is fire. It's straight fucking fuego. He is nice. He is nice, you know what I mean? And he's definitely something to look at. He's definitely something to be warned about. He's definitely something to worry about. Right now, he has 12 touchdowns on the season, 10 in the air, 2 on the ground. Last week, he had 1 on the ground, 311 yards, 4 touchdowns, 24 for 33, and he had 1 interception. This guy, not to mention, he had a game-winning drive to seal the deal, was 35-32 against the Rams. So this guy can put up numbers, man. Like, this guy can sling that ball. He can get out there. He can make moves with his legs. So he's definitely, like, if we thought we were going to have trouble with Cam last week, we got another thing coming this week, because I can guarantee you Josh Allen is going to be a problem. You know, Cole Beasley went for 6 catches, 100 yards. Gabriel Davis, 4 catches, 81 yards. And Delvin Singletary had 13 rushing for 71 yards. So their offense, man, is explosive. Their offense is very explosive. You know, we're going to have to do our best to contain Josh Allen. And we got to utilize our threats, man. Like, we have to. If we're not going to utilize our threats, we're not going to utilize our weapons, we're going to have a bad game. It's going to be another patch game. And it's not going to look good for us, man. Last week, the Bills had 274 yards passing, 101 rushing, 6.5 yards per play, which we need to help contain that. That's 6.5 yards per play. That's like the same issue we had when we were playing the Saints. We need to lower down that number. They were 50% on 3rd down, and they had the ball. The Rams kept them with the ball. Well, okay, here's the part that's impressive to me. They had the ball 27 minutes to the Rams 32 minutes, and they put up 35 points. So that just goes to show when they touch the ball, they score. You know, regardless of how their defense plays, you know, that's another story. But when that offense touches the ball, that offense scores. So it is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, I think the Bills are going to come out there and do their thing, and I know the Raiders are going to come out there, you know, and do their thing, you know, especially coming off this loss. It's another undefeated team. I think it's another good test for us. You know, like I said, we got the Chiefs coming up the week after that, going into the bye. So I think, you know, coming off this loss and coming off in a pretty embarrassing loss, a lot of these, you know, rookies are going to be hungry, man. So that game is Sunday, 4:05 Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, we will be watching that. We will be looking forward to that. And it's going to be a good one, man. We're going to come out with this dub. We're going to come back next week with a victory. You know, we're going to have another victory week. You know, things around here are going to be a little joyful. You know, I got, you know, Rick with the crown, you know what I mean? Because he's feeling down and shit. You know what I mean? So, got to bounce back this week, baby. You know what I'm saying? Got to shake off that L. You know what I mean? 2-1. We still good in the division. We're still held in second place. We still got that tiebreaker over the Chargers right now. So, you know, things are still looking good in the beginning of the season. You know, we're approaching that, you know, that first quarter mark. So, hey, still a lot of time. You know what I mean? Still a lot of, like Hunter Renfrow said, man, like college basketball or college football, you know, one loss, you're out of the national championship. In the NFL, it ain't like that, man. You know, you can lose 3, 4, 5 and still be good. So, you know, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time for improvement, man. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come back with this dub. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, you already know what it is, man. This is my favorite portion of the show. This is where we chop up our opponent respectfully. But this week is going to be a little different, man. This week, I ain't really going to come at the Bills, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to come at us. So let's hear what we got to do, man.
Chop. Homie, if you feel me, tell them tricks that shot me, that they missed, they ain't kill me. I can make a motherfucker shake, rattle and roll.
So like I said, we're going to do it a little different this week, so I don't even need the flashcards because I'm chopping up my Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, man, y'all played horribly. Defense, horribly. And I'm coming at you, Paul Gunther. Hey, you are a professional defensive coordinator in the National Football League, and I'm watching high schools call better plays. You need to get your defense right. You got the talent. You got the players. They're eager to play. I'm going to need you to do your job, or I'm going to need you to go ahead and pack their bags and bounce home because, hey, we don't need it. I think this is your last game. I think after the bye week, you know what I mean, they should already, you know, been had you replaced, but that's just me. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say, Paul Gunther, you are the reason why our defense is getting chopped up this week. Man, what time is it, man?
Okay, let's get into the chopping them up part. I really have no one to chop up. The only thing I'm going to say is, Raiders, we need to come better prepared, okay? I love y'all, Raider Nation, y'all, the Raider team. I got so much love for y'all. I just want to see y'all do great, and the whole Raider Nation does, man. We hate the losses, even though sometimes it's expected. We just want y'all to do better with the losses, you know what I'm saying? A little more effort. We just look like we've always been looking for the past couple years, and we ain't trying to go back to that. We do not want to go back to that. So can we get some consistency in the dub department? Please, Raider Nation, we are behind y'all 100%. Just show us the light, please. Show us the light, Lord Jesus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's all we got for this week. Once again, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you viewing. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Please leave your feedback, leave your comments. Hey, man, it's much appreciated. I love y'all. We got a big week this week. We got the 3-0 Bills. Hey, 4:05 Eastern time. It's going to be a good one, baby. But, hey, go out there. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Love the ones you got. Hey, from me to yours, Maine to yours. It's all love, baby. Peace, love, one nation, and I'm out. What's going on, people? It's your boy NR. Hey, if you liked the video, even if you didn't, hit the subscribe, follow, link, leave a comment, do all that. I'm going to get back with y'all. I love the criticism. I love the feedback. Until next time, it's NR. Peace, love, and I'm out.
Stepping over them, I be running plays like a halfback. If I lose, tell them run it back. High stepping over them. High stepping over them. I be making plays like a quarterback. If I win, tell them double that.